Hey everyone, Dan Goulet here, and in this video I want to talk about lead generation companies. And lead generation companies can be a useful tool for you, but I wouldn't ever recommend relying on them 100%. The reason why is because lead generation companies are essentially just a middle person between you and the ads that they create. So they'll create some ads, they'll run the traffic to their pages, their landing pages, and then ultimately they will send the lead to you. So this works for someone that might be just getting started and has the ability and time to really go through the leads and call every single one and try to qualify them. And what a lot of lead generation companies don't tell you is that you actually have to do that qualification yourself. So you have to go through and have yourself, a whole day of just lead qualification. So the other thing that they sort of fail to tell you is that you're not getting any of the data. So what that means is lead generation companies will be running traffic and they will be sort of building a list based on what they spend on ad spend. They get the retargeting list. So now you spent your money, it's gone to the lead gen company, they've spent the budget, and they've collected the retargeting list. So a lot of times they're actually just sending their traffic to their retargeting lists. So they're slightly warmer traffic, but it's a lot cheaper for them, so they can keep the upside. And again, nothing wrong with this. It's just not something you want to rely on when it comes to consistently generating leads that are warmed up. And another thing that you have to do is you have to set up your CRM to do all the follow-up. So this is important because now that you don't have a retargeting list, that you don't have access to that retargeting list, you really have no other way of reconnecting with your potential client. So in the case where a lead gen company will use your landing pages and your website, that is a little bit of a step up, but most lead gen companies are not doing it this way. You'll mostly find that through a freelancer or somebody that is capable of actually running everything through your platform. That is a step up, but you're definitely going to pay a little bit more for that. And why I always recommend running the ads yourself is because not only will you have your retargeting list, so you will have access, you will own the retargeting list, right? So you own the retargeting list. The creative is what's the variable to actually having your message understood, read, and trusted. And if it's just a generic lead ad, which is what 99% of these lead generation companies do, they're running AdWords or Facebook lead ads. It's just a cold lead. It's totally cold. It's just, something that you have to understand. It's not like it's a bad thing necessarily. It's just you need to understand it's really, really cold leads, and they're not going to produce something that's going to be of high value right up front, but they can produce. So the other little sort of downfall is you don't get access to the creative, and the creative is basically what is being said to the client up front. So if it's just a generic ads promoting a random listing or a random type of message, then you don't get an opportunity to pick your niche, specialize down, and really laser focus on who you want to speak with. Because that ultimately is what's going to make your life a heck of a lot easier, because you're able to really target those people that are right in your demographic. And you decide that these are the type of people you want to work with, and these are the type of people you can best serve. And that's the most important thing, is you can serve these people because you have an expertise in this specialization. So, generalization for when you're first getting started might be something that you would do, but I always recommend specializing. And when you specialize, you can have access to the retargeting list. When you do your own ads, You can have your own retargeting list. You can create specialist ads, and that is ultimately going to be a way better converting ad. You're gonna have full control over your ad spend. And the third, final thing is you can turn it off when you need to. So if you're getting a lot of leads and you don't have somebody in place to manage those leads and call them immediately, then you're basically stuck paying each month to the lead generation company, and they won't turn it off for you because generally it's a contract, right? So you're a month-to-month contract. If they're generating you a ton of cold leads and you can't, your systems aren't in place perfectly, you can't turn it off. And that's one thing that could sort of become frustrating, and then you get discouraged with lead generation. And I've seen a lot of people with this mindset where they say, oh, I hate lead generation online, it doesn't work, they're unqualified, all these different excuses, and that is definitely caused by the overwhelm of leads that come through, and the lack of specialization and the lack of clearly defined message. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.